The Alden Memorial Library wasn't just a building, it was a sanctuary. Tucked between ivy-covered brick townhouses in a quiet college town, its oak doors opened into a world of hushed reverence, towering bookshelves, stained glass windows casting jewel-toned light onto Persian rugs, and the soft scent of aged paper and beeswax. For most patrons, it was a place of peace. For Emily, it was becoming a battleground. At 20, with shoulder-length auburn hair tucked behind her ears and a stubborn set to her jaw, Emily had come 3 days in a row to research 19th-century feminist literature for her gender studies paper. But the rare manuscript she needed, Letters of Eleanor Vane, was locked in the restricted archive, accessible only with special permission. She'd asked twice. Been denied twice. Incomplete application, the assistant had said. Frustration simmered. She sat at a mahogany reading table in her navy blue sweater and dark jeans, fingers drumming against her open notebook. Around her, students scribbled quietly, scholars turned pages with care, and time itself seemed to move slower, as if honoring the weight of all those words. Hen she saw it, a handwritten sign taped to a velvet rope. Silence. Stillness. Respect, respect, she muttered under her breath. It's just paper and ink. Her voice, though low, echoed in the stillness. A few heads turned. She ignored them. When her phone buzzed with a text from her roommate, did you find the Vane letters? She pulled it out, tapped open her camera, and whispered into the lens, Day 3. Still banned from the archive like I'm some kind of criminal. This place treats books like holy relics. Newsflash, it's 2024. She didn't see Miss Thorne approach, but she felt her presence like a shift in the air. Emily looked up, and froze. Ms. Thorne stood a few feet away, tall and composed in her signature forest green wool dress and cream cardigan, silver-streaked black hair pinned neatly in a chignon. Her thin-rimmed glasses caught the amber light, but her warm brown eyes held no warmth now. Only quiet disappointment. Rule 3, Miss Thorne said, voice low but carrying. No electronic recording in the grand reading room. Rule 7, she continued. Disrespect for the space or its materials, spoken or performed, constitutes a breach of patron conduct. Emily's cheeks burned. I was just venting. It's not like I hurt anyone. You disrespected this place, Miss Thorne replied evenly. And by extension, everyone who finds solace here. Including yourself. She gestured toward a heavy oak door marked Private Study. Come with me. The study room was small, lined floor to ceiling with leather-bound volumes. A single desk, 2 chairs, and a tall grandfather clock ticking softly in the corner. Emily sat, arms crossed, heart pounding. She expected a warning. Maybe a suspension. Instead, Miss Thorne opened a drawer and placed a document on the desk. You signed this when you became a member, Emily. Do you remember Clause 12? Emily scanned the page. Her eyes landed on it. Patrons who commit willful, repeated, or severe breaches of the Code of Conduct may, at the head librarian's discretion, be subject to corrective discipline, including traditional corporal measure, as a final act of accountability and restoration. Her breath hitched. You can't be serious. I've used this clause 3 times in 28 years, Miss Thorne said calmly. Each time, the patron understood that some lessons require more than words. You signed the agreement. You broke a sacred trust, not just with me, but with the legacy of this library. Emily wanted to scoff. But something in Miss Thorne's gaze, the sorrow beneath the steel, stopped her. This wasn't about power. It was about principle. I didn't think it mattered, Emily whispered. It matters, Miss Thorne said gently, because spaces like this only survive when we protect their spirit. And today, you forgot yours. She rose and opened a locked cabinet. From it, she took a smooth, well-worn wooden paddle, dark cherry wood, polished by time, no sharper edge than a ruler. 3 swats, she said. Over your jeans. Not for shame. For remembrance. Emily stood, trembling. She turned slightly, hands gripping the edge of the desk. The first swat landed with a firm thwack, more surprise than pain. The second stung, sharp and warm. The third left a quiet echo in the room, and in her chest. Then, just as quickly, Miss Thorne set the paddle aside and pulled Emily into a brief, firm hug. This isn't because I don't believe in you, she murmured. It's because I believe you can do better. Tears pricked Emily's eyes, not from the paddling, but from the unexpected kindness that followed. She spent the next hour in silence, rereading the library's code of conduct. She wrote a note. I'm sorry I forgot how to be still. I'll earn back your trust. She left it on Miss Thorne's desk along with an offer to help reshelve misplaced returns. The next day, an envelope appeared in her campus mailbox. Inside, a stamped archive access pass, and a handwritten note. The Eleanor Vane letters await. Handle them as you would a friend's heart. MT. Weeks later, Emily returned to the Alden Library, not as a frustrated student, but as a volunteer. She wore her navy sweater again, but now with a small brass pin on her collar, Alden Library steward in her arms. She carried a cloth-wrapped bundle. Ms. Thorne met her at the circulation desk, same forest green dress, same calm eyes. I found this in my grandmother's attic, Emily said, unwrapping the bundle to reveal a first edition of Women in the Public Sphere by Lydia Marsh, rare, fragile, and inscribed by the author herself. She'd want it here. Miss Thorne's lips curved into the faintest smile. She had good taste. As Emily helped log the donation into the archive ledger, she glanced around the grand reading room. The light was softer now. The silence, deeper. And for the first time, it didn't feel oppressive. It felt like belonging. Later, walking home in the autumn dusk, she thought, some lessons don't come from books. They come from the hands that protect them, and for the first time, she understood why some spaces ask us to be still, so we can finally hear ourselves grow.